From the Chocolate Mountains to the Sea of Cortez, all along the border on a Friday night, this is exciting. Imperial Valley football on VSNSports.net, the Valley Sports Network, the source for Imperial Valley sports. For John Moreno, this is Vic Carrillo here in Holtville, California, as the Calexico Bulldogs open up the game with a kickoff to the Holtville Vikings. And we now welcome the voice of choice, Johnny Moe, John Moreno Brown.
Ernie Sanchez with a pooch kick to number 80, Alexis Toloso, will take it up to the 43-yard line. So Holtville's going to start this first series. They elected to receive on the kickoff, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Vikes. So it's a encroachment call on Calexico and a handoff up the middle, stopped there by Abran Sasueta, number 21, Peyton Aiton, losing a couple of yards and bringing up a second and long for the Vikings at their own 47-yard line. And sometime later on in the century that there was a drop in the rivalry between Holtville and Calexico, and number 24, that's Seth Aiton going down the far sideline. Touchdown, Holtville. He got through the line of scrimmage, Vic, and broke one tackle and took it all the way down the far sideline for 6 points for the Vikings.
Running behind the blocking of Kay Damerel and Austin Trevino, they opened up a running lane on the left side of the line, and Seth Aiton, with that quick lateral movement and open field speed, was able to put 6 points on the scoreboard as the game's first offensive series, with 11-11 remaining here in the first quarter.
And they're going for two. Right up the middle, number 29, the ball carrier, that's Daniel Ledesma, goes to the left side and puts the 2 points.
So just like that, the Holtville Vikings jump out to an 8-0 lead on the Calexico Bulldogs, who have yet to touch the ball, with David Esquer in the offensive backfield at quarterback.
Esquer out of the shotgun is going to hand it off to Sanchez right up the middle. Breaks one tackle, gets to the 32-yard line. 1st and 10. Move those chains for Calexico. Ernest Sanchez right up the middle. Vic picks up 12.
We'll give you the defensive backs after this play.
1st and 10. Pradis in motion. He'll take a little swing pass, and it's blocked. And somebody smartly falls on it, number 21, Ernest Sanchez.
A dangerous pass, John, as he threw it back, and Mason Toten was there from his defensive end position, alertly putting his hands out and deflecting that pass. That pass should have probably been thrown with a little arch to it so that Marin could have run under it. Nevertheless, it puts the Bulldogs back with a first, 2nd and 25.
Played each other. So Pradis will get the handoff, going to the right, the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, inside the 10-yard line. Jesus Pradis with a handoff, making some exciting moves and putting the Bulldogs on a 1st and goal.
Alvarado, the grandson of Angie Alvarado.
Sanchez with the ball, but it hit hard and stopped in his tracks. And they're going to go for it.
And don't forget number 3, Andres Ramirez, who split out to the right.
Fakes the dive, and Sanchez takes it in. Touchdown, Calexico. Ernie Sanchez from 4 yards out, takes it in for the Bulldogs to score 6 points.
Well, running behind the blocking
on a 4th and goal, Vic,
of Christian Martinez, along with Yair Silva, able to get in to make that touchdown. So, with 2:58 remaining here in the first quarter, Calexico getting set for the point after.
Gael Monzon will go for the point after. The snap, the set it, and it's kicked into the Viking defense, so it's no good.
So with 2:58 remaining here in the first quarter, both teams have drawn blood, and the Vikings lead by 2, 8-6 over the visiting Calexico Bulldogs. Aiton was able to break off that 46-yard touchdown run to get things rolling for the Vikings.
So a 1st and 5. Faking the dive and keeping the football is Spencer Hilfiger coming down the near sideline, getting a first down and more, and stopped there by number 8 for Calexico.
Ismail Burgess.
So he made a touchdown-saving tackle, but not till
Spencer Hilfiker, 6'2", 220-pound quarterback, surprised everybody, but he carries the ball every once in a while once they lull the defense. The Vikings aren't big, John, but they're efficient.
And that's Peyton Knighton again going to the right side. Will he get in? Touchdown, Holtville. Peyton Knighton taking the handoff from Spencer Hilfiker will put another 6 points for the Vikings.
Well, there's no mystery to the Viking offense right now in the first quarter, John. It's just one handoff after another to the Knighton brothers, and they just march the ball downfield playing smash mouth football, which you always favored.
Yes. It makes good. 3 yards in a cloud of dust. A handoff to number 29. Ledesma will take it in for the 2-point conversion. And now, still in the first quarter, with a minute to go, 16-6, Holtville. Division 5 has these two teams matched up very closely. Calexico, a 5 rank, and Holtville, a 3 rank. And Ernie Sanchez gets the ball. He's going down the far sideline, and one guy got him. 1st and 10, Calexico move those chains as Ernie Sanchez takes the handoff from the 20 and gets to the 43-yard line. Now that's Abraham Sasueta now. He's in the quarterback. Abraham Sasueta will keep it. Penalty flags fly. He's coming this way. 10, 5, touchdown, Calexico. But there is a penalty flag thrown on the left side of the line of scrimmage.
Well, nevertheless, John, number 3, Andres Ramirez threw an excellent block for Sasueta to get to the outside at the 10-yard line and take it to the house. But let's see what the call is here that may nullify that fine run by Abraham Sasueta. In at quarterback as they rotate David Esquer and Sasueta.
No flag. So it is a touchdown, Calexico. Abraham Sasueta from about the 22 kept the football, takes it to the house.
So the Calexico Bulldogs respond to the first 2 scores of the Holtville Vikings with a score of their own here with 8:36 remaining in the second quarter. And now they've cut into the lead. They're down by 4, 16-12, as we get set for the point after attempt by the Calexico Bulldogs.
It looks like they're going to go for 2, Vic. I see David Esquet in there.
Well, you know, the kicking game has always been suspect, John. Either the kickers are kicking the ball too low, and it's been blocked in the past. Their first kick attempt was blocked after their first score.
But Sanchez with Esquer scrambling, looking, shoots it, intercepted. So the extra point is no good, intercepted by number 3. That's Roger Rolfe. Now,
Esquer had a receiver open at the 2-yard line, but he overlooked him and threw to the middle of the end zone.
Ball at the 33. Trips right. Abraham Sasueta takes the shotgun snap, decides to keep, and has a tough time turning it up the field as he'll be brought down for a loss at the 30th. 3-yard loss.
And that was number 29, Ledesma, holding his ground there to make the tackle.
Julian De Leon in the backfield.
Leon with a 45-yard run to his credit
Bad
early
snap,
in the season.
But Sasueta will make something of it as I think he fumbles and it's recovered by the Vikings.
Well, trying to do that little extra, John, and providing that additional effort, he left himself exposed where the ball was knocked out of his hands, and as a result, the Vikings recover inside Bulldog territory.
So a 1st and 10 for Holtville at the 31 going in.
So 9:42 remaining here in the third quarter. If you just joined us, Holtville 16, Calexico 12.
4th and 10. Dropping back, Hilfiker looking, intercepted by Pedro Cruz at the 10. Coming down the near sideline to midfield, breaking tackles, taking it to the 40, going in. That's Pedro Cruz, number 6 for the Bulldogs, intercepting the Hilfiker pass and bringing it down
to the 40-yard line,
to
number
the Viking
21.
territory.
Number 21, Peyton Knighton making the tackle but not until Cruz was able to advance the ball across midfield into Viking territory. So the Bulldogs 1st and 10 at the Viking 40-yard line, 8:12 remaining in the third quarter. Holtville 16, Calexico 12. What would you call this offensive formation?
Hilfiger handing off to number 17.
That's Mays.
Mays is just carrying a bunch of Bulldogs with him. He'll pick up 12 yards going right side of the line.
Correction, John, that was Zefren Duarte, who averages 9.5 yards per carry. Over the season, he's had 13 carries for 123 yards. And here was one of those plays that shows his running ability as he picks up a first down for the Vikings. 5'8", 185-pounders. We get set for this fourth down play.
And Hilfiger going to the air. The pass is caught and taken in the end zone, number 11. Mason Toten with a reception. Running a pattern in the seam, takes it to the house for the Holtville Vikings.
Well, Mason Toten, a senior, came into tonight's ball game with 8 receptions for 131 yards and, more importantly, 5 touchdowns via the airway, and he adds to that total with that fine reception and pass, catch, and run from Hilfiger to Toten.
Going for 2. Ledesma takes the handoff, and the Bulldogs stop it. So with 11:27 to go in this football game, it is now a 10-point game, 22-12, Holtville. Well, we got Marin in the backfield, faking the dive, and David Esquer was a little hesitant, wasn't sure whether to keep or pitch. And that was a loss. Even more, so the ball will be spotted right at the 10. So a 2nd and 9. Hilfiger hands it off to number 6, going to the left side. Finds room and more and picks up about 14 yards.
That's Donovan Johnston. The senior, been playing mostly defense, but does get the occasional offensive carry, and he makes the most of it as he picks up a first down, moving those chains inside the 20 down to the 16-yard line of Calexico.
We're at the 4. 2nd and goal from the 4. Hilfiger faking the dive, takes it in himself. Touchdown, Holtville, here with 7 minutes and 14 seconds to go. The Vikings on the board again.
So the Vikings extend their lead to 28-12 with 7:14 remaining here in the fourth quarter.
Esquer stepping up, looking. Pedro Cruz caught. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. Touchdown, Calexico. Pedro Cruz running a pattern here to the near sideline. A beautiful pass. Put 6 points on the board for the Bulldogs. Just like that, Vic.
He was being guarded by number 12, Gabriel Panales, and a well-placed football there to the sideline on a 15 and out. And David Rivera with a 3-step drop, a beautiful thrown pass, and Calexico gets on the scoreboard again with 6:16 remaining here in the fourth quarter, down by 11, 29-18. This calls for a 2-point conversion attempt, John.
Troy Marin in the backfield, out of the shotgun. Prades in motion. Troy Marin gets the handoff. Does he cross? Yes, he does. The 2-point conversion is good. And so Calexico now 9 points under the Holtville Vikings in the fourth quarter.
So 29-20 with 6:16 remaining here in the ball game. Calexico breathing life into their offense and cutting into the Holtville margin.
1st and 10 at the 40. Hands it off, and there's number 44 for Calexico.
Francisco Arriola, John.
In on the stop, reading it very well behind the line of scrimmage and bringing up a loss on that Holtville run. De Leon in the backfield. Another low snap. Esquer makes do. Goes deep to Pedro Cruz. He's there. And touchdown, Calexico! Pedro Cruz with a lofty pass from David Esquer is there in the end zone to catch the football, and Calexico on the board again.
Well, it was a foot race between Cruz and number 4 of Holtville, Saul Axel Banda, 5'5", 140-pound defensive back, and it was Cruz that came up with a clutch, an outstanding catch, a perfect example of concentration, and the pass beautifully thrown by quarterback David Esquer. And now the Bulldogs find themselves down by a score of 29-26 with 59 seconds remaining.
2-point conversion. Julian De Leon pounding his way up the middle, and it's good. So 2 points for Calexico.
Well, you couldn't have gotten any closer other than a tie game, 29-28.
And that's why those extra points are very critical in games like this. Calexico missed a couple of extra points, and had they made them, they'd be up 30-29, but they didn't, and here we are. And so that'll be it. They'll run one more play, Vic, and what an outstanding game. Division 5 San Diego CIF football with number 3 seed Holtville and number 5 seed Calexico almost evenly matched. Calexico playing outstanding defense and outstanding offense. Both of these teams playing good football. Some mistakes, some penalties, but overall, Vic, it was an exciting game. It just so happened that Calexico came short.
John, it was an exciting game that earned the respect of all footballites here enjoying this game in Birger Field in Holtville, as the players gave it their all, and exchange of camaraderie and sportsmanship there at the 50-yard line as they're embracing one another and giving their shout-outs to one another, wishing each other a great game, and congratulations abound.
And you see the camaraderie, because I know a couple of the coaches for Holtville played at Calexico. One, Fabian Gonzalez, played for me when I was coaching with Al Gutierrez and Dag Dagan.
Well, this is what makes the Imperial Valley so special, John, is every community, though they may be a few miles apart, they're very close with family and fellowship and community service. So the Calexico Bulldogs journey to Holtville, and they find themselves on the losing end of a 29-28 score to the hosting Holtville Vikings, who extend their record to 5 wins, no losses, and Calexico drops to 3 wins and 2 losses, as both schools will be having a bye week next week.
Here we are looking at the cameras down here, Vic. It's been a wonderful game. What do you think were the keys to Holtville's success tonight, besides being having an outstanding quarterback in Seth Hilfiger and running back by Peyton and Seth Manning?
Seth
Eiten. What did I say? Peyton Manning.
Yeah, it's easy to say. But nevertheless, the Holtville Vikings were well prepared. They executed, John, early in the game and throughout the game. Offensive line blocking, they controlled the trenches in the first half, and Calexico didn't have an answer for that on the defensive side of the ball. But Calexico regrouped. They were scoring at the same pace on touchdowns after long drives, but Calexico couldn't convert on the point afters, and that was the difference in the ball game. And as a result, Holtville was successful on their first 2 run conversions to give them a 16-6 lead, a 10-point cushion, and they were able to carry that throughout the game into the fourth quarter. And in the closing minute, Calexico rallied to come up 1 point shy, but they couldn't recover that onside kick, and as a result, the victory falls to the Holtville Vikings, and rightfully so, because they controlled the outcome of the game from the outset, and Calexico put up a valiant effort, and they have nothing to be ashamed about, and it was a well-played game. So if you were able to see it in person or on the screen through live stream, I'm sure it was an enjoyable game to watch.
We'd like to thank all of you, our listening audience, our listening and our viewing audience, for tuning us in tonight here on VSN. We'd like to thank our halftime guests, Mr. Anthony Arevalo
and CJ
Johnston for gracing our airwaves at the halftime and finding out what's going on here at Holtville High School. We'd like to thank our program director, Will Torres, Joaquin Matus, Jose Alejos, And our camera guy, Diego Moreno, who filled in tonight for Panchito Garcia, who's down at the Baja 250. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's final score is Holtville 29 and Calexico 28.